Normal hard copy books, or do you prefer digital books?
Both.
Can traveling teach you more than books?
I buy books, maybe 10 kgs or 20 kgs from one city.
You enter a bookstore, how do you find out this is the book which is my calling today? What does sales mean for you? How important is passion in a sales guy?
भागने से पहले चलना सीखो, उड़ने से पहले दौड़ना सीखो.
How do you define wealth?
25 lakhs or 250 crores. Dogs and salesmen are not allowed. Being a card exchanging machine is worthless.
Is sales gender specific as well?
They are wiser than you, sharper than you, smarter than you.
If there is one thing you would like to change in your life, what would that be?
Art of doing nothing is a skill one should master.
Today I have with me in our studio somebody very special, very close to me, and he shares with me that I should introduce him as a reader for 25 years. So my question is, who is Jatin?
So Jatin is a sales guy who has grown all due to books, what Jatin has read so far. So I guess every few years or so, different books inspire me and transform me, and step by step I have changed the orbit, and here I am.
Which was the first book which introduced you to the love of reading?
So this book was Tough Times Never Last But Tough People Do. I read it in 2000 by Robert Schuller.
And one particular instance from that book which you remember?
I guess it is in the title only. So it's not about the tough times, it's about how tough you are. So, and then after that I read You Can Win by Shiv Khera. Amazing, very beautiful, simple book. And with the kind of stories it had, the kind of age I was in, I was 17, 18 that time. So, it really inspired me.
If there is somebody in his early teens and you want to motivate them for reading, share me 3 books which they should start their reading habit with.
Actually, there is no set of books one can refer to. Okay, somebody is in 17, 18, he or she should read this book or that book. I guess the kind of stage they are in, the kind of answer they are seeking, the kind of questions they have for their life, at that particular stage, that is the kind of book they must be reading. But in general, I can say, they can get their hands on How Life Works by Andrew Matthews. It's a very simple book, nice book, anybody can relate to. Right from a 20-year-old guy to 60-year-old lady, anybody can read that. It's a beautiful book. Another book which I really like is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I guess it actually shaped my thinking when I was 17, 18 years old. Another book which can actually set your mindset towards wealth creation is A Millionaire Mindset by Harvecker. It's again very good book which talks about money healing, which we were referring a few days ago. So it's a wonderful book wherein you can set your blueprint right, because each and every youth has a money blueprint basis the blueprint of their home. At home, how their parents talk, their grandparents talk, how they feel about money, how they treat money, and how secure and insecure they are with respect to money. A child or a teenager get transformed into that kind of blueprint. So it is very important to set blueprints right when you are starting off in life.
Normal hard copy books, or do you prefer digital books?
Both. Even Audible. All three.
Audible.
All three.
And which one do you think you are able to retain more?
Actually, retention comes when the book starts talking to you. You feel like the book has been written specially for you. So it's not about the bestseller. It's actually about, again, the way I was stating earlier, that what kind of question you are asking. And if you get that book, you will read the book from left to right, from top to bottom. And you will scribble notes, you will reread it, you will keep it handy with you. I will not be surprised if you read it 3 times or maybe 5 times. I have read few books 5 times. Every year I refer to such books. So it actually depends that which book or which author you get connected to. So it's not about the best-selling book. It's actually about what kind of state you are in and what kind of answers that book is delivering to you.
You mentioned a very beautiful thing, very poetic thing, to be honest, which is the book talks to you.
Yeah.
Right. So the first time the book shouts at you and tells you, okay, Jatin, this is where am I? Can you pick me up?
Actually, not even shouts. Sometimes book slaps you also. Your dear friend, your mother, or maybe your wife may not be able to give you that perspective the way a book will show you absolute truth. So in that way, it is very, very important.
You enter a bookstore. How do you find out this is the book which is my calling today?
Actually, I asked the bookkeeper, I asked the bookstore manager, I asked bookstore owners which books they are reading. Suggest certain new books in this particular genre. See, if I go to Amazon and start ordering books, by virtue of the program, it refers to me all the books by the similar authors or the same authors. But if I go and visit bookstores, unfortunately, we are not left with too many bookstores in Mumbai right now. But in general, if I visit bookstores and then new and new authors come into the picture. Also, I have a small book club on WhatsApp. So we keep exchanging notes from different books. We keep discussing different books, different authors. So that gives a very different perspective.
There is an idea which got indirectly shared by you with me, which was instead of gifting sweets on Diwali or any festive,
Correct.
gift books.
Yes. So it happens that when we are talking to our friends, our extended friends, acquaintances, colleagues, clients, we get to know them a little bit and sometimes more of them. And we sometimes know that, telling them something or giving them certain kind of, I would say, suggestion would be entering or, crossing the boundary.
Yeah.
So without crossing the boundary, without even creating that space of awkwardness, if you just silently gift a book and you personally feel so that because this book you have read and this book may give a different perspective to that person and may give an answer, that it would be a kind of the best gift ever for him or her.
And how do you identify which book to give to which personality?
Well, I have read too many books, so it gives me a good
Idea.
framework. Yeah.
Any recent author?
Yeah, I am in love with two books, so to say, which I am rereading this book for the fourth time in 1 year. This is Courage to be Disliked. And the second book I'm reading for third time is Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse. So beautiful books, amazingly beautifully written books. So if you have not read it, please read it.
So I'm not sure what's your genre. I think you normally go for sales and meditation.
No, so like when I'm having conversation with you, I will ask you what kind of books you read. What are your top 5 favorite books? It's not that I am looking to read the same 5 books. I will just scroll through all those 5 different authors, those books, so as to see whether I can relate to them. And if I am, then I will pick up that book and start reading it. Many a times it happens that I buy books. The only thing I do visiting different cities across the world is I buy books. I can buy a book maybe 10 kgs or 20 kgs from one city. I think so. The best thing you can do.
20 kgs of books from one city?
Yes. I have done it from Scotland. I have done it from London. So it happens that if you really want to know that country or that city, if you read local authors, you will not have that chance ever again.
Yeah.
You can have same delicacies, you can have same sweets, you can have similar dishes in your own country by, chefs from those countries, but same books, it's really to find such books because not everything is available on your local Amazon.
Can traveling teach you more than books?
Yes, it can. It can teach you. See, whether it is traveling, while reading a book also you travel to in your own different journey, a journey inwards. You are in your headspace trying to figure out something or trying to get a new perspective about the same thing. So while you travel, you are actually experiencing absolute silence, and sometimes it is noisy outside, sometimes it is not. It's beautiful and serene. You are again taking a journey inwards while you travel, while you interact with different people. It is giving you a different framework to operate, a different perspective, a different environment. So it's all about changing your environment inside.
Sometimes when you start watching a movie, in the middle of the movie, it's not a good movie and you switch the movie.
Yeah.
Does it happen with books?
Yes. After 2 chapters, 1 chapter, or maybe half a chapter, I can switch. Even after buying it carefully, I can really... one thing I learned from one of the authors is that if you're not enjoying the book, just flip to another book. So, or maybe sometimes it happens that I have learned, let's say, 5 good things and I've started putting into action, 3 to 4 things from it. And I think I'm done with this book. I will just keep it back. I will not put an effort to complete the book. Because if I'm feeling certain resistance to complete the book, might as well keep the book and start reading something else. And it is very important to take notes. It's important to refer to notes. And now with help of AI, have started putting everything on personal AI assistant. So I put all my learnings, notes, afterthoughts from one particular book to that AI app. I use Claude for that.
I use Claude.
And then whatever my business goals are there or my personal goals are there, then I tell that AI app, try to put this particular framework into my business model and help me understand better. So it gives a beautiful.
So you just predicted my question. In the world of AI today, where you can get a summary of a book in 10 seconds and go through just that summary of 1,000 words maybe in an hour and finish the whole book, why would somebody still be inclined towards reading?
Can you learn swimming by going through a booklet?
No, you
have to
dive into it.
dive into it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have to take a journey inwards. Then only you will be able to. You have to take a journey into the sea so as to learn swimming, or into the pool.
Yeah.
You cannot just have 5-minute or maybe 2-minute snapshot and think that you have learned that mind map and you will be able to now work more efficiently.
The attention span of today's generation, and when I say today's generation, the upcoming generation plus another 10 years back from them as well, is reducing every day, right? Do you think just like from larger videos, we have gone to smaller videos, to reels and Instagrams, and the duration, the size of the book should be decreased as well so that people can read it faster?
I guess the attention span has decreased not for the newer generation, for us also.
Yeah.
Because if they are on Instagram, so are we.
So are we.
So it's not about any generation. It's a kind of environment we are in. And changing our environment or guarding ourselves from the existing environment is a choice we have.
Yeah.
So it's a personal choice.
Yeah.
Do you want to spend 1 hour, half an hour, or maybe 15 minutes away from Instagram or social media and dig into books, or you want to learn everything from Instagram? So it's your choice. One more thing, just to tell you that it's not that Instagram is bad. I guess this younger generation is learning faster than what we are doing. There are book clubs on Instagram, so to say. I've been following. So I get recommendation on books from Instagram also. It's about what kind of channels you're following, what kind of handles you're following. So so it depends upon that. True. So anything can be a source of inspiration from you. It depends upon your choice, what you are choosing from it.
So let's do one more thing actually, where I will speak about a genre and you tell me which is your most favorite book from that genre, whether you have read it or not. Psychology,
Many books, but of lately, Courage to be Disliked is my favorite one.
sales,
Zig Ziglar on sales, all-time favorite.
autobiographies,
Autobiography of Yogi.
non-fiction,
Karma by Sadhguru is a very good book. One should read that. It gives a nice perspective about things in daily life.
life,
On philosophy, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, and then there is a beautiful book called A Course in Miracles. It is not exactly a philosophy, but you can say you will learn most about it through that book.
You're sitting on an island and you can carry just one book with you. Which book is
A
that?
Course in Miracles Made Easy.
And why do you want to carry that book along?
Because the book talks about two important things, two prime emotions. One is love, another is fear. If you know how to deal with both of them, you are sorted.
Share me an incident where you were struggling with something, you read a book and you just read the preface and you're like, okay, this book will connect with me. And then you start reading the book more and you discover a new shade of yourself and that helped you come out of that particular phase.
Actually, there's a beautiful book called by Naval Ravikant called Almanac of Naval Ravikant. I recently read that book again. Last year I read it. It talks about that understand your specific knowledge, what you bring to the world in professional terms, and then use it with code and media to have exponential results. So actually this particular statement stuck with me, and now I'm figuring out the specific knowledge I have in my profession, in my industry, in the limited territory I'm operating, how I can use media and how I can use code, which is technology, to have exponential results out of it. And it is making a lot of sense. So I've started to learn new things. That's why I'm here. one should read Art of Dealing with People and Skill with People. It's a must to have, must to read. Another book is How I Raised Myself in Sales from Failure to Success by Frank Bediger. Another book could be by Og Mandino called The Greatest Salesman in This World.
Yeah.
So these books will shape up your mindset for sales journey, which is there in front of you. And one important point, a senior gentleman in real estate having 40 years of experience, when I had maybe 4 months of experience, told me, बेटा भागने से पहले चलना सीखो और उड़ने से पहले दौड़ना सीखो. अभी तुमने चलना शुरू किया और उड़ान भरना चाहते हो सीधा. So take it step by step, slowly, gradually, learn the nuances, learn things, and then move forward.
If we could take you back in history and give you the flexibility to go and meet one author in person, who would that be?
Marcus Aurelius.
And why would you like to meet only him?
He had everything by his side, but he practiced stillness. If you read his books, you will realize that after being an emperor, the kind of realizations he had, which even monks strive to get it, is absolutely stunning.
We were talking of reading. Which is one genre which you love reading the most?
Psychology and philosophy. Anything on that. I started with sales books. I read anything and everything on sales as well as marketing in my college and in the surrounding colleges of 1 kilometer. Every library, every book I read it. So I never read any textbook, so to say. I'm not boasting about it, but this is who I am. So I read each and every book in the library on sales.
A popular Indian influencer said that yes, I'm publishing this book which uses my name, but I confess that I've used ghostwriters for writing their book. Should audience go ahead and buy such books?
You can gain inspiration from a panwala to a street vendor. You just need to ask relevant questions, or you need to have open mind. So whether it is coming from a ghostwriter or coming from an authentic writer, how does it matter?
You have had a sales journey for the last 20 plus years.
Yes.
How did books help shape your sales journey?
Actually, books helped me a lot. I have always been a very average guy with respect to my academics, average guy with respect to my skill sets, average guy with respect to my talent, so to say. That's how I judge myself when I was, let's say, 20 years old. When I started reading books, it started building a kind of desire in me to succeed, to create something which is bigger than me, to have certain kind of significance in the society. So different books inspired me to be more and more of what I was.
If there is somebody in college and he wants to enter sales as a domain, which vertical in sales should they look at right now?
See, I guess it's about discovering yourself. When I was in my post-graduation, one thing I figured out that I want to do sales, although I was having a technical degree I was pursuing. So on my first interview, I was asked that, what have I learned in 2 years of post-graduation? And my answer was precisely that I have learned that I am not meant for technology, a career in technology, so to say. And they said, but you have just completed a post-graduation in technology. I said, this is a beautiful learning. I'm not wasting 2 decades to figure out that by the time I turn 40, that I say, oh, I have chosen the wrong career. So, and then he asked me again that, what do you want to be? I said, I want to be in sales. He asked me again the same question, what kind of sales? I said, anything. That I have not figured it out. I can sell cartridges, I can sell computers, I can sell soaps. So I have not figured it out. Maybe once I get into the corporate world, I will figure out. There is no rush. You can figure it out. Many people in 40s and 50s still going to their offices, having certain stature in different corporations, have not still figured out what they want to do in their life.
Yeah.
Or what they have been doing.
True.
So it's okay. You have time. Everyone has time. So especially in your teenage or let's say early 20s, don't give too much of stress about what exactly you want to get into. Take it step by step. If you get a feel that, okay, you want to do sales, do sales. Do all kind of sales. Do hospitality sales. Get into services business. Do whatever you want to do. And then after, getting into 4 or 5 different jobs, then identify that what kind of sales, whether product sales or service sales interests you. Then get into that.
Now at this age, similar as mine, you've made a choice of which domain are you good at in sales?
I guess I have a habit of asking questions to even strangers. So after my graduation, I was convinced that I want to be in sales. So I joined the banking industry and started selling, let's say, portfolio management services, insurance, mutual funds. I was not interested in that. In 3 months, I realized that
This is not made for me.
sales is for me, but this particular product offering is not for me. So while meeting clients, I started pitching them land propositions next to my college. I graduated from Pune, so I saw a lot of potential. I saw IT booming. I saw BPOs coming there. I started telling them, why don't you guys, you are rich. I was handling wealth management. So you're rich. Why don't you buy land out there? So I started making weekend trips to Pune with them. On way back, one Sardarji told me while filling gas into his car, he said, why are you wasting your time? I said, I'm not wasting time. I have a relationship with you. I think so this particular proposition will suit you well in your portfolio. He said, no, why you are wasting time in banking industry? You are meant for real estate. Why don't you have a serious career in real estate? And that was a eureka moment. Next week onwards, I just got into real estate.
And how's real estate been to you till now?
I guess it has turned into my passion. So once I figured that out, once I got into real estate, and eventually I realized, okay, this is what actually I get excited about. Now, whether that real estate is of 25 lakhs or 250 crores, I deal it with the same passion.
Dubai is equal to real estate. Would you agree to that statement?
I guess that's the wrapper Dubai has, which is real estate. People get excited looking at all these skyscrapers, glass buildings, but Dubai has much more to offer. There are many Dubais within Dubai. So it's about what kind of Dubai you get fascinated towards.
Does Dubai excite you in real estate?
Yes, it does. It's first of all, it's too competitive. And second of all, I think so, it's the holy ground for all real estate professionals to show their talent. There cannot be any better city to practice your talent and to show your talent except Dubai.
Real estate sales, if you have to categorize them in, let's say, a small level enterprise, medium level, and large level enterprise, how would those classification work?
Yes, there could be different classification. Real estate has got a residential vertical, whether you want to get into residential real estate sales, whether you want to get into retail services, which is basically offering services to brands, helping them find spaces, or you want to get into commercial leasing and sale, or you want to get into yield-based properties, which is pre-leased assets, or you want to get into land transactions, or you want to get into business development or land acquisition. There are different verticals to it. And then within residential or within commercial, there are again multiple verticals with respect to you want to get into budget category, medium premium category, or luxury real estate, or super luxury real estate. So it actually depends what suits you well and what kind of persona you have. Let's say you are the person who wants to interact only with people 100 million and above, then better to get into super luxury. It's not that only you want to, your persona should also be like that. You need to have that kind of content. The other person need to relate to you. He should think that, he should perceive that you are the right consultant for him, or you are the right advisor for him.
3 things which you have learned by talking to this 100 million plus people, which you think everyone should actually imbibe in their life.
So number 1, they are humble. And second, they are very sharp, and their attention span is very, very less, but very good. They are sharp, that's why they have 100 million. Their attention span is less. So if you have 5 minutes to talk, wrap it up in 50 seconds. And their attention span is very good because they will grab everything in 50 seconds. So your presence of mind needs to be very, very good when you're presenting yourself or any proposition in front of them.
So I believe sales start at a very early age. When a child cries, he's selling to get milk at that time. What does sales mean for you?
For me, sales is a transference of feeling. It's less about any tactic or manipulative techniques. I see a lot of books of, people getting trained on sales. Yesterday, I met someone and she said, I'm an HR consultant, but I have starting on my own. I need to learn sales. So I'm going for a webinar wherein they are teaching me different tactics, how to approach a client, how to do this, how to do that. And after going through that content today morning, I said, please, okay, few things do make sense. How you present yourself, what kind of hooks you can use. All those things are okay. But by the end of the day, it is merely purely transference of a feeling.
Yeah.
I guess almost 2 decades back, I asked my mom. I was reading all these new books and learning new tactics. So I played some tactic on my mom and asked something. And she said, use all these tactics to outside world. But if you are building a relationship with someone and you start to use tactic, you will fail miserably. So use tactic wherein it is only one of the transaction. But if it is a long-term relationship and you really mean it, do not use any tactic. Do not manipulate things. I'm your mother, so you cannot play any tactic with me. And if your client, you are trying to build a relationship, please avoid any tactic. So sales is actually, your relationship with client is having a limited role, which is helping them decide, take a decision. They are wiser than you, richer than you, smarter than you, sharper than you. But what they need is assistance in taking that decision. Maybe they have less time or they have less attention span for what is needed for real estate right now. Or maybe that is not a pressing issue for them. Maybe that's why they have been delaying it. Or maybe the whole family is not coming to consensus because everyone is running for their own different things. So your role, your limiting role is helping them make a decision, sometimes as a family, and if it is you are dealing with an investor, then with that single investor. So nothing more than that. And if you feel it, if you really feel it, and if you transfer that feeling that, okay, I am there as a guide, as a consultant, not something to
Take margins from, let's say.
So taking margin is not wrong.
Yeah.
So because if you get that feeling, then you start judging that, okay, if this deal gets done, I'm going to earn this much. So it's not about that.
Yeah.
You are there into the business of sales who has to earn money. So don't get shy about it.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that become his right hand. Become his right hand when you are helping him decide. Now, whether you are selling for a developer, then become his right hand. Think as if the money is going to come into your pocket when you make a sale. So you will deal that transaction in the same manner. If you are a broker, think that if you are going to buy this particular proposition, whether it will make sense, provided you know the framework of the whole family.
Is sales an emotional profession? Because let's say you invested 6 months in a deal. After 6 months, you end up losing the deal.
Yes.
Even if your manager comes and taps on your shoulder and says, it's okay, Pankaj, things happen. At the end of the day, it will take you 24 to 48 hours to come out of that thing. Because you've invested 6 months, you've literally seen the baby grow, get confidence, and it's at the brink that somebody says, okay, it's just a matter of $10,000 more.
Yes, it is. I guess salespeople go through a lot of lows and highs within a day, not even a week.
Yeah.
You come up totally charged up after listening to some motivational video and you are going to kill it today, and suddenly a cancellation comes over, or maybe, client doesn't turn up, or something happens. So you go through a lot of lows and a lot of highs. But I guess a broader understanding is needed, whether it is sales or in life, that we will not get results the way we want on base. We can get only 4 kinds of results. One is more than what we expect. Second is exactly what we expect. Usually nobody has problem in accepting all these 2 kind of results. Third kind of result is when we get less than what we expect and totally opposite of what we were expecting. So if you build a mindset that you are okay acknowledging and accepting what you are less than what you are expecting and totally opposite of what you are expecting, you will be better off in sales, because you will realize that it is just a contrasting result which has come today. Tomorrow it is going to be a brighter day. So
when we were growing up as kids, sales was always looked upon as a profession because our upbringing was very service oriented. It's like very Vasudev Kutumbakam kind of mentality, right? Do it for the people, do it for charity, the good for the humankind. And sales was always seen as somebody is calling you, selling you something, giving you a credit card, and credit cards were even frowned upon. From there to today's era where sales is a respected profession in any domain that you go, a lot has changed. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so basically what has changed is that families have realized that it's a very rewarding profession. So whatever is rewarding gets a due credibility, get acknowledged as a respectable profession. So if you see any corporation, two people are the most rewarded. Two people are most rewarded. Number one, a sales guy, and number two is finance guy. What they have in common is both gets money to the company.
Yeah.
A sales guy gets some money to the company, and a finance guy gets money to the company. So provided you are getting money to the company, so you will get rewarded.
You're always being valued.
You are always rewarded.
How important is passion in a sales guy?
Passion is everything. It's like fuel. You don't have passion, it's like owning a Mercedes without petrol or without diesel. So you need to have passion. So I deal every transaction with same passion. Once upon a time,
उतनी एक्साइटमेंट रहती है उसमें?
सेम एक्साइटमेंट. आपको विरार लोकल पकड़ के 15 लाख की दुकान बेच के आनी है या फिर 25 करोड़ का साउथ बॉम्बे में फ्लैट बेचना है. यू शुड हैव सेम पैशन. नो योर रोल. You are there to help the other person take decision, and if your involvement is needed, go there. Not everything can be done on phone. If you want to get things done, go yourself. If you don't want to get things done, send somebody else.
Every sales means that you have to do some kind of research before you go for a meeting.
Yes.
What kind of research do you recommend?
Know your product, know your customer, know what you're going to talk about, because if you're dealing with rich, they don't have time and they don't appreciate any kind of nonsensical talk or any kind of short talks. So be precise, be fast, and be rock solid on what you're advising them.
The kind of people you deal, they are the ones who are not on LinkedIn. They are the, at times, people who are not on social media. Mostly they are in news, right? So how do you find the exclusive information which you would delve to, which you would dig out to find more connection with them?
I guess it's about having access to information and having connections. So if you have both, you're sorted.
Networking is a must in any industry, more so in
Networking is must in any industry, but being a card exchanging machine is worthless.
Yeah.
So making meaningful connections is what one should look for.
And how do you go about doing that? Golf clubs?
Not necessarily golf clubs. You need to actually play in your own arena. So if you like golf, please go in golf clubs. If you like clubbing, please go to high-end clubs. But if you like books, go to book clubs. If you like books and you end up going to golf club, you will not know anything about it and you look stupid.
Yeah.
So play in your arena. Find your strength, and whatever your strength is, rich people are everywhere, wealthy clients are everywhere. So so people think it's about hunting clients. It's not about hunting clients. You need to be meaningful in what you speak. You need to have a heart when you are making a connection. So don't play only with your head. If you play only with your head, you will sign up with endless networking events. You will end up with 5,000 cards in your pocket and not even a single meaningful connection.
Yeah. In today's time, content creation is a key element to any business.
Correct.
And as founders, it is recommended they should be the face of the organization.
Yes.
Is it something you are trying to learn right now?
Yes, I'm trying to learn. I guess it's not particularly with age, but I guess by and far all my industry colleagues, we are shy of camera, I guess. We can speak in front of 500 people on stage, but when it comes to camera or content creation, there is a proof of concept that it works.
Yeah.
It works exponentially, but we don't have a hang of it. So I'm trying to learn like I have learned other things.
One day at a time.
One day at a time.
Sales is a very glamorous profession today. And everybody wants to succeed in 10 days. But this is not Maggi noodles. How do you prepare yourself for being successful in sales?
See, being successful in sales, first of all, one must invest in his wardrobe. If you don't know how to dress well, follow a simple advice. Get 5 white t-shirts, any color pants, and 2 black shirts. It will sort your 7 days. So you don't put your mind into what to wear, what to not. Sharp set of clothes with nice leather shoe and smile on your face, irrespective of whatever results come during the day will set the tone for the day. Secondly, one should invest in seminars or conferences or any kind of learning module so as to create the right mindset for sales, whether it is negotiation, whether it is prospecting, whether it is doing the same work better, or soft skills, anything and everything which is surrounding sales, get into that. Third is that building an attitude of sales, which I mentioned earlier, that learning psychology and philosophy. If you learn psychology, you will know your customer well. In sales, what happens is it's not about what customer is looking. It's about you identifying what he is not even aware of what he is
That is looking at. Yeah.
So what I have learned is if your customer is looking for apples, offer him apples, but offer oranges, pineapples as well. And most of the times they will end up buying grapes.
Yeah. So anyone who's not an avid reader, what would your suggestion be to them beyond reading?
If you are not reading, but you are on Instagram, join book clubs on Instagram. It will tell you, teach you, give you a kind of initial anecdote to start your journey.
How important it is to sit alone despite our professions and just do nothing?
It is very important to take time for oneself, whether you go for a walk, you meditate, you just sit silently for some time in the morning hours or in the evening hours, have your me time. It is very, very important. So art of doing nothing is a skill one should master. And for men especially, usually we don't share our emotions. We don't share our struggles and our failures with too many people, or generally with anyone. Except one or two good friends, we try to confide them. It is important to have your wolf pack, because that wolf pack is not going to console you. They are going to roast you and put it into such kind of humor that that kind of burden will actually get released. So it is very important to have your wolf pack, have every year vacation with your wolf pack and release all that, what is not serving you well.
It is a normal perception that people who are outspoken, have good English, are the ones who are made for sales. Is it true?
It's a perception, but it's not the truth. I have seen people who are conservative, they are very good in sales, because in that moment of silence, they actually judge the person. They actually take time to listen to everyone, observe the environment, and take the right call into the transaction when it is needed. Sometimes the outspoken guy is only blabbering about stuff and not paying attention to the detail. So it's not like that. It's a perception, but it's not the truth. In fact, if you feel that you can help somebody buy, you should get into sales.
Is sales gender specific as well? For instance, men are good at technology driven sales and women are good at real estate sales?
It's a perception. Again, it's not the truth. It depends on person to person, how he or she or which particular product or service or industry they want to build their career in. Again, these are societal frameworks or limiting beliefs we operate in. It actually depends upon person to person. Many a times we have seen that women outperform men exponentially because how they relate to customers, how they put their emotion into the play, how they not only calculate the numbers but actually get the feel of the family. So actually it depends on a lot of different criteria.
How do you define wealth?
Wealth is synonym of freedom to me. Everyone shoots for moon but land up into stars, and many don't. So we need to take step by step. At first, one needs to work on their financial security, having proper insurances, savings, FDs, then move on to financial stability, wherein you have certain assets on your name, you are financially stable, you are having good vacations without worrying about money. You are financially stable. You are in a good category. Then financial freedom. What does financial freedom means? Financial freedom means that if God forbid something happens to you or something happens to your industry, any unforeseen circumstances come, with you, without you, that same amount of money or more keeps coming to your doorstep, to your home, to your family. And you feel that irrespective of I go to work or no, I am free. So that is what one should aim for rather than wealth. Once you have attained financial freedom, take your journey forward from there, what kind of wealth you are looking.
Is there any formula or a number which you can have in your mind to find that value, that this is the number, if I attain this number, I'm financially free?
I guess per se, generally, if we talk about my personal perspective into it, if generally we talk about if you have $2 to $3 million, Anywhere across the globe, any good city, you can settle down well. Not particularly in India, you can settle down in Dubai also and feel financially free.
Dubai has multiple flavors.
Yes.
You can live in 100 dirhams as well. You
Correct.
can live in 1000 dirhams and they'll be
Right.
lesser as well
Yes.
from your expenses. So 2 to 3 million is a standard figure for any place.
I'm talking about financial freedom. I'm not talking about chasing
Luxury step mirage.
Yes, yes. There is no end to it.
Yeah.
We have 1,000 square feet apartment owners also. We have 10,000 square feet apartment owners also. 10,000 square feet apartment owners are looking for entire buildings for their stay. Entire building owners are looking for larger plot of lands for exclusive villas to stay. Exclusive villa owners are looking at islands to stay. So there is no end to it.
Yeah.
So what we are talking about, our limited role out here is that as a sales professional, what kind of benchmarks you should have, you should carry, so that you progressively work towards it. So one can aim for becoming a billionaire, but one has to start from being financially secure. If you don't have 5 crores of term insurance, or you don't have 1 crore of, let's say, medical insurance, what are you talking about right now? So start from financial security, financial stability, and then financial freedom, and afterwards start thinking about Ferraris of the world.
How do you diversify your investment portfolio?
Actually, diversifying investment portfolio, it's not one investment suits all. A few investors are there, they look at off-plan properties or under construction properties because they are looking for capital appreciation. If you want to invest in, let's say, punter stocks or far-fetched locations in middle of nowhere, because they see that one fine day appreciation will come and it will be exponential. Another kind of investor, they want to secure their principal and they are happy with, let's say, 6 to 8 to 10% of year on a year return. Hence, they invest in yield-based properties, which are usually brands are leased at certain premises and you buy as pre-leased property. So it depends upon at what stage you are in and what you are looking at. Again, it goes back to your money blueprint in your folder. How do you treat money? How do you feel secure about money? If you feel secure by investing in middle of nowhere, you will buy that. So as a salesperson, it is your job to understand that psychology and then put a right product into it.
Today's world is all about sensationalism. Get me a reel which will give me 2 million likes, 5 million views. This is what people talk about. And they say, okay, you want to make quick money? Start an Airbnb. Is it still a good investment?
You need to look into effort to reward ratio. I started managing just like Airbnb service apartments few years back. I guess almost 10 years back. So I started managing 6 apartments. I realized that the kind of effort I am putting in managing those apartments and the kind of reward I'm getting, I'm better off closing bigger transactions in the same amount of effort and time. So it's a personal call you need to take. Also, if you don't have a vision to open, let's say, 100 Airbnbs or 500 service apartments, then it is too small for particularly me personally to get into it.
But anybody who's just looking at a side income?
Yes, one should explore whatever comes your way, whatever you think so it makes sense to you and you'll be able to manage it well. One should look at. There is nothing right or wrong. There is no book of a protocol to success or protocol to wealth. Everyone is just giving you, or you can only take broad indicators and then start your journey. Your journey is going to be different. My journey is going to be different. So there are no set rules to it. But yes, there can be a code of conduct. There is no substitute for hard work ethic, discipline, being passionate about it, having a vision around it. So these are the broad frameworks you can follow. But there is no hard set rule to abide by.
From reading to sales, I just want to move to the third pillar of your life, which is meditation. How did you get introduced to meditation?
After you work 365 days, you need to meditate twice a day.
And what do you do?
So again, a life-changing thing happened. I came to Dubai in 2020 to attend Dr. Joe Dispenza workshop. Again, series of wonderful books by him, Being Supernatural, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. It is all about changing your mental models, what you have, or limiting beliefs. So he changed my limiting beliefs about myself and gave me a different direction altogether. So this helps. Every morning, every night, if you take out 15 minutes to 1 hour, whatever you can, and meditate, go inwards, all the issues you have around your professional life, personal life, you will start to get answers. What the issue is, we hire consultants to solve our issues, but we do not take a deep dive inside to look for an answer.
Do you think reading too many books has made you become too philosophical at times?
Sales is all about learning psychology and philosophy. If you learn psychology and if you learn philosophy, you will be good at sales.
We spoke about meditation a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned a very interesting word called money healing.
Yeah.
Can you touch up a little more on that?
Yeah, I spoke about money healing. So Habecker talks about that how we have folders and files in our computer. We have folders and files in our mind also. We have a folder of career. In career, we have money folder. In money folder, we have savings, investment, the amount of money we make, our insecurities about it, our securities about it. So as to progress further and change to another orbit, so to say, or grow from where you are, the stature you are having right now, and to grow further, you need to change your money blueprint. The time you change your money blueprint, you will heal through certain burdens you have been carrying around money, certain insecurities you have been carrying around money. For example, when I started dealing in real estate, I had no money. The kind of money I used to earn on monthly basis, it is much less than the kind of hotel rent I'm paying for the day. So I started to believe, I accessed that money folder. I started to believe that I'm carrying 10 lakhs in my left pocket and 10 lakhs in my right pocket. Now I sit in front of my client and talk because he's a multimillionaire. So once I feel that I have enough and I am enough, he is going to buy that proposition, because in the end, it is a transference of feeling. So if you feel rich, you communicate that particular language.
Do you watch movies?
Rarely.
Which was the last movie you watched?
It was Animal, and before that it was Bhag Milkha Bhag. So you can
Imagine the gap.
imagine the gap.
Let's say if there is a movie being made on Jatin's life, which Bollywood actor do you think would be the main cast as Jatin?
I guess somewhat like Rocket Singh, Ranbir Kapoor.
And what do you think would be the title of that movie?
Salesfully Yours.
So tell me the story about this word Salesfully Yours.
So when I started in sales, during that time, people were shy of being called as a salesman. I perfectly recall that when I used to roam around Mumbai streets, there used to be notice board on
Entrance.
at the entrance gates stating that dogs and salesmen are not allowed inside. So this got stuck with me. So I said, I am going to build a career in sales, and I am going to put that kind of passion, and I'm going to get people into sales and going to inject them with that kind of enthusiasm that they feel super confident by calling them a salesman. And I opened a company called Salesfully Yours because there is an emotion, there is passion into it, and we are proud of it.
One thing which Jatin never compromises on.
Discipline.
Hiring people means that there are some times where you need to have uncomfortable conversations with your hired people. How do you prepare mentally for that?
My school of thought on that is, when you hire somebody, he or she comes as an employee, but it is your job how he or she becomes a part of your family. At least I'm not talking about large corporations,
Yeah.
I'm talking about startups. So when you make somebody part of your family, you want to train them or nurture them accordingly. And when you give your heart and soul into it, most likely they are going to be there with you in that journey. And if they go, it's a contrast. Just acknowledge it and move forward.
Do you believe in unconditional love?
See, I believe that when you're filled with love, you don't have any option but to share it with others, and it becomes unconditional. But when you give love as a transaction to get something in return, you are going to hit by a contrast sooner or later.
I think this is one of the best answers anybody has given to this question from that seat.
Thank you.
We've spoken about sales, we've spoken about passion, we've spoken about books. If there is one thing you would like to change in your life, what would that be?
I would like to change my limiting beliefs, which I changed, let's say, every 5 years or 10 years. I would like to change it earlier. And one thing I realized after attending Tony Robbins' workshop. He said that if you want to grow fast, have mentors with you, have guides with you, sign up for workshops every 3 months, like you sign up for a vacation as soon as you come back from vacation because you're excited about it. So you sign up for a workshop immediately after you come out of it. So I started doing that, and then I started identifying guides for me, whether it is a life coach, business coach, some yoga trainer, or this kind of trainer or that kind of trainer. Whatever aspect of life I want to work on, I started having mentors on that or professional guides on that. I started quite late in life. I guess if I would have started early in life, things would be different.
मैनिफेस्टेशन में बिलीव करते हो आप?
100%.
वो एक इंसिडेंट बताओ जब आपने कुछ मैनिफेस्ट किया हो.
Everything. So I started having vision boards in 2020. I started with a image of college I wanted to join in. I got into that college. I started envisioning Mercedes-Benz while doing not even internship, a college program in Pune. And there was a Mercedes showroom. I just entered, and my friends who were walking beside me said, "Are you mad? They are going to throw you out of the store, out of the showroom." I said, "No, I feel like I'm having 50 lakhs in my pocket. Maybe I will not buy, but let me go and get the feel of it." I got the feel of it, took that brochure, put it on my dorm, and everyone made fun of it. But few years down the lane, I guess 6 years down the lane, I had Mercedes-Benz with me. So it got manifested. Like that, many things got manifested, whether it was home, investment, anything and everything got manifested. The problem is that after watching Secret movie, you tend to think that whatever you are going to think will get manifested. That is the problem. The Secret.
Okay.
So it's a fallacy. Not everything will come your way. Things which are aligned for you will come your way. So you need to acknowledge the contrast also. There are going to be things that will not come your way. Maybe those are not aligned for you. You need to have a broader perspective about things then. So after The Secret, my horizons got widened by Esther Hicks. So again, Ask and It Shall Be Given, beautiful book. One should do it. And there's Vortex of Creation course by Esther Hicks. It gives you a deep dive course into manifestation. And then at the end of the day, I listened to this cassette, we used to have in 1998 and 2000. It was called Hindu Prayer Service by Kulin Desai. He stated a example. He said that according to him, we have misinterpreted Bhagavad Gita shlok, which says that do not desire anything or do not expect anything, keep on working. So you keep working, but do not expect anything. He says not having an expectation is also an expectation, or not having a desire is also a desire. So maybe, I'm not expert in that. Maybe we have misinterpreted that. And the right interpretation is do not decide your results, but work for the results. So do not decide. So the problem happens is when we decide that only good is going to happen, only the thing which we want is going to happen, or more than what we want is going to happen. We do not acknowledge and accept opposite of what we want and less than what we want. That's the problem. That's when we tend to lose faith in manifestation. Manifestation works, but what is not working is your acceptance mechanism.
So with the people in the studio, we manifested something for you, and I hope that makes you smile.
Is that a book?
It's not a book, but it is something which will make you smile, because I believe with so much to share with the world,
Wow.
It is just about the right time where you start writing your thoughts in a book and share it with the audience. And we believe these two words keenly define you, which is wealth and peace.
Thank you so much. It actually recalls me that I was sitting in my college library and questioning my life, that which path I should take, a path of material success or spiritual freedom. In that confusion, I was given a book called Thick Face, Black Heart. It was by a successful Chinese woman working in New York into her own business, and explaining Zen Buddhism and how she practices her spiritual life, which helps her in her professional life. It gave me a direction, and I thought that maybe there is a way, there is a common path wherein you can still be spiritual and be successful, and enjoy materialism as well. So thank you so much for this.
And with this, we end our today's episode full of insights on reading, on books, and on sales. So, do you think you are made for sales as a profession? If you have any questions which you want Jatin or me to address for you, share them in the comments below. And we look forward to hosting Jatin once again once his book gets published. Thank you.